Update. My daughter just moved back in after an abusive relationship, and she's been wanting to be uncomfortably close to me. Original post. I, 50 male, will try and keep this brief. My daughter, 24 female, met a man I didn't really care for 3 years ago, right about when COVID was starting. He wanted her to move in with him quickly, and I could tell he was love-bombing her. I was worried about how fast things were moving between them. She called me up after she moved in, saying that she had to respect her relationship and that she needed to cut out anyone who wasn't supportive. I told her I didn't like where this was headed. The love bombing, moving in so quickly, now being isolated from her family. I told her these were warning signs, but she told me she was in love, etc. I told her if this was her choice, then so be it, but I would always love her. My door would always be open, and if she ever needed anything or needed help, I'd be there for her. I didn't hear from her again for a couple of years. Well, I got a call from her a few weeks ago. She was crying. She said I was right about him all along. Things had gotten progressively worse, and now he had hit her for the first time, and that was her boundary. She asked me if my offer to help her was still on the table. I told her of course it was. I love her and would do anything for her. So as soon as we got the chance, I went over there, helped her pack up while he was gone, and moved her back into my house. You guys, I wanted to cry when I first heard her on the phone. She sounded so desperate. It was even worse when I saw her. She was emaciated. She had bruises. She was a shell of her former self. It breaks my heart to see how badly beaten down she's been. So here is where things start to get, well, awkward. About a week ago, she came into my bedroom at night in her pajamas and said she had been having trouble sleeping. She wanted to sleep in my bed with me, which I thought was odd. I said it was a bit odd, but she begged me and said it would make her feel safe. She used to sleep in our bed when her mother was still alive, and she was a little girl and had bad dreams, but that ended a long time ago. I figured whatever she had been through was enough though, and I wasn't about to interrogate her or make her feel ashamed. I wanted her to feel safe, and so I agreed. She cuddled up with me and we slept. This has now become a habit with her. She's not slept in her own bed since, and is asking me to cuddle with her or spoon her while she's sleeping in my bed with me. I really don't know what to make of this. She says it makes her feel safe. I'm not sure this is appropriate though, but at the same time, she's been through enough already, and I want her to feel safe and secure. Is this something you think she will move past once she recovers a bit? Should I tell her I think it's inappropriate? Edit. I've heard from so many women who have been through similar ordeals, but didn't have supportive parents to help them. I just want to say to you all, I'm sorry that happened. None of it was your fault. You didn't deserve it. What you did deserve was to have a dad in your corner willing to tap into the match for you. It breaks my heart so many of you didn't have that. Now for the top advice before reading the update. It sounds like she is very broken and reverting to childhood comforting. She needs a therapist to help her. She was severely abused for 3 years, and it's not going to be undone in 2 weeks or even 2 months. She needs professional help. If the cuddling makes you uncomfortable, for sure talk to her gently. She is just seeking comfort, and it's still scared he's going to come for her. She knows Daddy will protect her. I will protect her. I told her from the get-go she could always come to me. I'll always be on her side. We do have a therapist booked, but they didn't have an immediate opening. She's been through something horribly traumatic, and I'm so glad that she is safe with you. But this can't continue forever. She needs therapy right away, so she doesn't develop unhealthy habits and attachments. Source: I lived through what your daughter did, and my dad saved me too. Therapist appointment is next week. I'm glad you made it out safely. You should see a therapist too. They can help you navigate how to deal with your daughter in healthy ways and deal with your own feelings of discomfort or grief about the whole situation. It doesn't mean you're crazy or damaged. You need an outlet too. I wish my dad was like you, but instead, he was the one who started the abuser list. I just will never understand parents like that. I can't even conceive of the idea of not protecting my child, let alone hurting her deliberately. Neither of you deserve that. I'm sorry. Now for the update. Okay, So I got some great advice, and I figured I would give everyone an update and clarify a few things because it will come into play. I know I said this in the comments, but I will reiterate here. When I picked her up, I saw that she was underweight and had bruises on her face and neck, clearly strangulation marks on her neck, and she had been punched in the face. I immediately took her to a walk-in clinic. I wanted her checked for head trauma. I wanted to make sure she was okay, no broken bones or head trauma, etc. I wanted the doctor's advice on getting her back up to a healthy weight, which foods to eat, which to avoid to prevent refeeding syndrome, etc. The doctor told me her BMI was 15. Not good, but not requiring immediate hospitalization. That would be 12 and under. I also wanted all of her injuries documented. I also got pictures. The doctor gave me advice on how best to get her up to weight without making her sick. I asked my daughter if she wanted to file a police report and press charges. I wanted this. She did not. I didn't push it, but I kept the medical records from the doctor's visit. I got her home, and for the first week, I was careful about what I was feeding her and how much so we could get her healthy again without making her sick. I feel bad about it now because after I put my original post up, my daughter opened up to me about what he did and put her through. One of the things he would do is watch what she was eating and how much. He would constantly warn her about getting fat and not being attractive anymore. I now feel a bit bad because when she got home, I too was monitoring what she was eating at first. I know it's for different reasons, but it still makes me feel bad. Anyways, on to the update part of things. She did finally write down everything that he did to her. I took a copy of this and put it with her medical files in case she ever decided to press charges later. I took her to her therapist's appointment, and he recommended what many of you did, a specialist. He had the name of a DV specialist who was also a woman. We are keeping him on for me and as counseling for the two of us. I try to be a good father, but there were cracks in our relationship he was able to exploit to turn her against me. There were things I did wrong after my wife's death, and things we need to address, and also to just get help with helping her recover. She's now seeing a DV specialist. As for the sleep thing, well, I had a talk with her and the therapist about it, and we came up with a plan, utilizing many of the recommendations mentioned in the last thread, and we are all comfortable with the solution we have come up with. I don't want to get too much into what he did to her. That's her story to tell. But he did utilize sleep deprivation. She told me he would make these jokes about how easy it would be for him to unalive her in her sleep. He would joke like this all the time, and then laugh about it. She repeatedly asked him to stop, but he didn't. I only mention it because people mentioned he might have done things to make her scared to sleep, and well, that was one of them. I don't want to repeat the others. Those are too personal. I took a leave of absence from work so I could be home with her. I prepared my weapons and got a ring cam to monitor the door. He did not give up on her easily. While she had blocked his number and social media profiles, he would repeatedly create false profiles or use burner phones to continue to harass her. At one point, I did take the phone from her when he had called her and told him not to show up here or I would, well, you know. That was not enough. About 2 weeks after this post went up, he showed up. I saw him on the ring cam I had installed and called the police to have him removed. I told him from the door to leave, and if he walked inside, it would be the last thing he ever did. Instead, the police came and removed him. But they did little else but get rid of him. Without a protective order or my daughter filing DV charges, the most they could really do was tell him to get off my lawn, basically. This was the wake-up call my daughter needed though. She decided to press charges after he showed up. I retained a lawyer to help us through this. I gave the lawyer the advice I had accumulated, and he spoke to the DA and police, and helped have the charges filed and the restraining order issued. Honestly, I'm not sure what went on there. But people, let me tell you, lawyers are your friend if you need to navigate anything in the legal system, even if you are not a defendant. So that brings us to now. We're moving forward in the legal system now to press charges. We have a protective order. She's recovered more or less physically, but emotionally it's going to be a while. I'm in therapy, she's in therapy, and we're in therapy together. Yes, lots of therapy. She is sleeping in her own bed when she feels up to it, but she still has nightmares and nights where she feels comforted being close to me. We are comfortable with the arrangements we've made here and have drawn up a plan with her therapist to get her back into her own room in bed. I feel bad about the feeding now. I had monitored her food intake before I knew he had been watching how she ate like that. I also feel like I failed to prepare her for someone like that. To everyone who responded to my first thread, thank you to most of you. Something that helped me a lot is when I have night terrors. I take prazosin for my horrific nightmares. I still have them and some doozy ones sometimes, but it dulls it a lot. When these dreams happen, it's terrifying, and you wake up feeling like someone had a gun to your head. The adrenaline is insane. Help make a routine. Good sleep, hygiene, take a warm shower before bed, and have tea. Something that also helped is just waking up my partner and having a hug. But definitely talk to a doctor about sleep help. We'll ask her doctor about this. Thank you for being there for her. A lot of victims don't get the kind of support you're giving her. Good luck going forward. Sometimes I think about what I'd do if I had a kid and something like this happened to them. I work with kids now, and I already know I'd be on the warpath if anything happened to them. I hope I'd be as calm and rational about it as OP has been. If you read this, OP, you're your daughter's rock right now. You gotta be careful. Victims often relapse. Please keep her safe. Know a girl who ran away to be with her boyfriend, got married within months of her running away, had a kid, he isolated her, took her to his home country, kept her there for months. The mother went there, brought her back, and she ran off back to him. She got absolutely abused, almost exactly like the post. Her mom went back to go get her again, brought her back, put a restraining order on him, no thanks to her. But he got jailed immediately, as he set foot on the soil for abusing the child. Not even her, the child, and then got longer for resisting arrest. Whilst out on bail, she ran off again to go back to him. Her mother kept hold of her kid's social services, refused to give her the child back, as she was endangering the kid, so her mother now has custody. Well, she came back screaming and yelling that she wants her kid back to go back to him. He's literally in jail, so she's currently sat at home waiting for him to be released whilst she gets supervised visits with her own kid. Never understood why she kept going back even after everything he put her through. She would refuse to testify even after everything he put her kid through. It's insane to me that she keeps doing it. Her family put her in therapy, and she's basically been a zombie for months, refuses to do anything healthy. Eat, sleep, move, is forced on her by doctors. She was put on psychiatric ward for help, but even they said she refuses help. So unfortunately, all everyone's doing is waiting till he gets released to stop her to run back to him. I never understood it, and probably never will, but victims definitely need a lot more help and a support system. But even with that, it still depends on the person themselves. Last story. I missed the first 4 years of my daughter's life, and now she's living with me. I got a girl pregnant when I was 20. She was 18. We weren't in a serious relationship, more like two young scared kids who were hooking up over the summer and ended up with way more than we were ready for. When she told me she was pregnant, I freaked out. My parents told me to stay out of it. They said it would ruin my life, my future, that I wasn't ready, and getting involved would just make things harder for me, for her, for everyone. They stepped in, hired a lawyer, and started paying child support on my behalf. They told me to move on, and I did. At least on the surface. I finished college, got a decent job. From the outside, everything looks fine. But in the back of my mind, I always knew there was something missing. I've thought about her all the time over the last 4 years, as much as I tried not to. My daughter, I never met her, not even when she was born. I wondered what she looked like, what her voice sounded like, if she liked music or cartoons or dinosaurs or dolls. I always meant to reach out someday, but shame kept getting in the way. I didn't know how to face her or her mom, or what I'd even say. I knew I didn't deserve a place in her life. And then, a few weeks ago, I got a message from her mom on social media. Her mom had left an abusive relationship and ended up in a shelter. She's doing everything she can to stay safe and get back on her feet, but she couldn't keep our daughter with her. And there's no safe or available family on her side. Her mom is an alcoholic, so her parents' house isn't safe. She's very paranoid about this guy coming after her and wanted our daughter far away from where she currently is. I feel like a liar calling her our daughter, by the way. She asked me if I'd temporarily take care of our daughter and that I didn't even need to identify as dad. We talked on the phone after initially talking online. Everybody advised me against getting involved now, but I feel like this is the least I can do. I was probably awake for 2 days straight trying to decide what to do. So now my 4-year-old daughter is living with me, 3 hours from her mom and her home, in a home she's never seen before, with a man she doesn't know. She's small, sweet, cautious. She doesn't talk much, but she watches everything. She asked me if she's going to stay here now, and when I said yes for a while, she just nodded and went back to coloring. No crying, no big reaction. That kind of quiet acceptance from a kid her age is devastating. I didn't know she had a peanut allergy until I read it in the folder the caseworker handed me. I didn't know her favorite color. It's purple. I didn't know that her favorite food was mac and cheese, or that she hums to herself when she draws. I missed all of it. I didn't even know that I needed a car seat for a 4-year-old and had to get one when I drove out there to pick her up. I feel like an imposter playing dad. I know absolutely nothing, and of course I have everyone I know with kids on speed dial right now. Everything I should have learned over the past 4 years is hitting me all at once. I thought I had my life together, but now it feels like I'm starting over with someone who has every right not to trust me. I know I can't undo the past. I know I failed her badly, but I'm here now and I'm trying, just completely clueless. 1. Your parents are horrible. 2. Bless you for stepping up to the plate and being a father to your child. 3. See a child psychologist to help her transition. Be a safe space for her, and with time, she'll come around. Don't just love her, nurture her. Learn the difference. I can honestly say that I don't think my relationship with my parents has ever been the same since all of this happened 4 years ago. But at the same time, I've finally come to accept my responsibility in not being involved. I blamed them in my head for a few years, or let them take the blame as a way to make myself feel a little less guilty. But I was a 20-year-old adult and made the decision to do what my parents wanted me to do. They were against me getting involved this time too. This is your chance to be that little girl's father. Maybe you weren't there before, but you're there for her now. Take care of her, pamper her, take the time to get to know her. Thanks. Appreciate the support. I'm so proud of you. I myself am a parent of 2, and my own daughter is just 2 years younger than the gal when she got pregnant. In some ways, I agree with your family. At 20, this could have truly ruined your life. You stayed in school, got a degree and a career. You set yourself up best to help her succeed. Now stay in her life.